day.
No slip-ups for the rest of the year. That has to be the message for Warrington. Featherstone Rovers have a new coach and will be keen to impress him and the Sky viewers here at Wilderspool. How do the sides line up? Fullbacks Lee Penny and Warren Wilson on loan from Halifax. Wings Mark Forster playing the best rugby of his life, and Ikram Butt. It's the Welsh international Iestyn Harris and Frederick Bonquet back from the French President's game against the Aussies on Thursday. No Alan Bateman, so Paul Darvish is the cover. Matt Calland replaces Andy Courier. It's Jonathan Roper. Jonathan Davis is still out injured, a legacy of the first test, and a former international Carl Gibson. Standoff Francis Maloney faces his former club, and the New Zealander Mark Nixon. Featherstone's Martin Pearson out for the rest of the season. Scrum half, Australian Greg Mackey is the Warrington skipper. Neil Roebuck takes the place of suspended Mark Aston. Props, Gary Tees goes up against a former Warrington player, Steve Malloy. And it's Mark Hilton face-to-face with Leo Casey, who cost a six-figure transfer fee 4 years ago. Hooker, we get our first glimpse of Takiri Barlow and former British Colts captain Richard Gunn. Second row, an Aussie against a Frenchman with an Aussie accent, Bruce Maguire and Daniel Divey. Paul Cullen, 14 years at Wilderspool, and 1990 British Lion Gary H. Price. And two Kiwis at loose forward. Warrington welcome back Kelly Shelford, and it's Brendan Tutor. Coaches, the Australian Brian Johnson, and back in the big league after a successful spell at Batley, where he almost won promotion last season, it's David Ward. Today's referee, Steve Cross, 44 years old, in his 9th season on the Grade 1 list. So the Stonesborough Championship, Warrington against Featherstone here at Wilderspool, and a big match for Warrington. They've got the match coming up against Wigan on New Year's Day, live on Sky, and they don't want to lose another one before they go to Central Park. And they're piling in with the tackling early on. Maguire hitting the Frenchman Bonquet early doors. Featherstone in the changed jerseys, maroon and white. Warrington in the usual primrose yellow and blue. And Brendan Tutor greeted by three forwards. Last time we were here, remember, Warrington started like this, a tremendous opening drive from them, terrific tackling. And it looks like they're in the mood to do the same again here today. Ball in the arms of Lee Penny, their full-back. Substitutes, Warrington have Welsh international Alan Bateman and Gary Sanderson on the bench. For Featherstone, it's Darren Hughes and Gary S. Price. Warrington have lost only 7 all of last season, but they've lost 3 and drawn 1 of their opening 12 so far. So that's why this match is so crucial for them. Great drive there by Gary Tees, the prop forward. Really did put his head down. Featherstone man bounced off him. Here's the fellow who might make them tick. It's Kelly Shelford. Passes the ball to Paul Cullen.
Both sides defence very well on top. They're moving up exceptionally quickly. The kicking game's the only way they'll break that down. And, well, that is a good kick eventually. Francis Maloney. It's amazing what the Rugby League football can do. There's no chance for Ikram Butt to get that one. He's a key figure today for the Warrington side, playing against his old club, of course.
Yes, Francis Maloney, only 21, 2 under 21 caps. And 35 appearances for Featherstone before his summer move here to Warrington. There he is, getting in the tackling on Matt Calland. Here now is Brendan Tutor. Kiwi loose forward, 11 New Zealand caps. And offside against 2 Warrington players, one of them Bruce Maguire, and Featherstone moving the ball quickly with Malloy from that penalty.
Good thinking by the captain for the day, Malloy, the prop forward. Could see that Warrington was slow to get back.
And here's Tutor. He applies the brakes and turns, and oh my word, that's a very strong challenge on the Kiwi. The centre, Paul Darvish, are in very quickly. Tutor is all right. Here's Warren Wilson. Interesting fact about Wilson, he's playing under David Ward, the new coach at Post Office Road, for the 4th time in his career. Lovely break here by Divey, the Frenchman, gets the ball away, but straight into the arms of Mark Hilton.
Well, a great run spoiled by that bad pass. There really was no opportunity to get the ball away. Far too many arms in there. It was a great bust.
Danny Dibe and probably Frederic Bonke as well will be in the French team to play the Australians in the test at Béziers next week. And there is the new Featherstone Rovers coach, formerly in charge at Headingley, of course. And he went down to Batley. He's done so well there. And when Steve Martin moved out, David Ward moved in.
Well, Featherstone caught napping there. They were a little bit too slow, should I say too quick to get away. Play the ball there, you can see it. You must stand square behind on the second marker. A bit over enthusiastic there. What a great kick. Tremendous kick into the corner.
So Warrington are just 10 metres short of the line. Now they're halfway there, 5 metres away, courtesy of that drive from Hilton. The ball now with Mackey, and here's Maloney. Maloney to Shelford, and Shelford gets it away to Derbyshire. And the scrambling Featherstone Rovers defence hard-pressed to keep him out. Shelford again. It's now with Cullen. Here's Barlow. Barlow finds Penny. Penny prepared to take them on, gets a good ball away to Roper, and again the Featherstone defence standing firm. For how long though? Mackey switches the direction of play. Maguire, it bounced off a Featherstone player, and it's 6 to go, says referee Steve Cross, and that is the Featherstone try line there.
Good refereeing as well there by Cross.
Warrington so close. Hilton with that drive in. Big pressure here from Warrington. Mackey, long ball to Maloney. Escapes the clutches of 2, but can't get away from those 3.
This is where Warrington normally do the crisscross. Running on the angle, here it comes.
Mackey, ball inside to Roper. Featherstone had done their homework too. Barlow scoops it off the floor to Maguire. He finds Shelford. Good long ball from Shelford to Penny. Side-footed forward on his own line. It's picked up by Warren Wilson. And a little high from Paul Derbyshire.
Really swinging there, but good positioning by the fullback Warren Wilson. Little doubt about it, going right over the top. That's where the ball came through. Now it came off Ikram Butt. That's why the referee, Steve Cross, allowed play on. It went back to 6. A little bit too high there, Paul Derbyshire. Relieves the pressure. Featherstone well and truly on the rack there.
Brendan Tutor, not the best pass in the world. It bounces into the arms of Ikram Butt. Featherstone able to keep the possession. Strong challenge from Roper, it was, on Matt Calland.
Interesting to see how Featherstone are playing these in the early stages. Brendan Tutor, a man that loves to run out wide, actually is playing very tight in the middle. A couple of occasions he's taken the ball on the first receiver. It's an unusual style of play for the man that normally plays out wide.
Featherstone in possession, just 1 win from their last 6 league games. Steve Martin left after their defeat at Widnes in October. David Ward moved in, and he has had 1 success so far from 4 matches. Iestyn Harris, the Welsh international, played stand-off against the Aussies for his country on the wing, as usual here for Warrington today. And will take the goal-kicking responsibilities, because Jonathan Davis, of course, still out injured with that shoulder that he hurt in the first test at Wembley. Paul Cullen with that drive in. 7.5 minutes gone here at Wilderspool, pointless, and penalty given by Steve Cross for the use, I think, of the elbow by Cullen here as he gets back to his feet.
Well, he just got him for pushing away there, Carl Gibson. Got a little push away, but interference from either side at the play of the ball. It's an infringement, and that really is a silly penalty to give away. A good position now for Featherstone to put first points on the board.
Yeah, it was more of a slap, wasn't it, than a use of the elbow. Just a push, as you say. Silly penalty to concede. And Frederic Bonke, a try and 2 goals for the French President's 13 in midweek against the Australian Kangaroos. And he has the goal-kicking duties for the Rovers today. French president's 13, by the way, losing, as you would imagine, to the Australians. Bonke, from all accounts, played very well. But that's not the best kick he's ever put in. So it stays at 0-0.
Well, he took his time on the approach there, but he seemed to just not get the follow-through with the boot. That's why he pulled it wide.
Brian Johnson, the Warrington coach, knows that there's no room for error between now and that New Year's Day trip to Wigan. They must maintain their run of 5 consecutive league wins. From Butt making no progress. Hilton in very quickly, and his prop forward colleague Gary Tees also.
Good work from Warrington's defence there. The second marker's working hard.
Talking about the festive period, don't forget Boxing Day at 11 a.m, Saints against Wigan, and then that match on New Year's Day, live on New Year's evening, Wigan against Warrington. 2 tremendous games for you over the Christmas holiday. Leo Casey with this run for Featherstone, wanted by Oldham during the summer, having left Watersheddings for Featherstone for £100,000 in 1990. This now is Warren Wilson trying to get away from Mackey, who harassed him well. The ball went straight up in the air, and underneath it, Yestin Harris to launch another Warrington attack. Lee Penny now taking over. Under 21 international Penny.
Good job to the hooker. Richard Gunn just got the leg to there. The full-back Penny was nearly through. Oh, that looked a bit high.
Steve Cross said it went off the chest by Tuta. Play on. Maguire drops it. Mistake. Tuta has it back. Gets away from that challenge from Forster. He can't get away from the good tackle from Greg Mackey. Gunn was the dummy half. He got it to Roebuck, and here's Dive. Dive keeps the ball alive to his French colleague Bonke on that far side. Warrington having to work hard to keep the Frenchman out. Roebuck again. Gunn. No way through. Roebuck and Casey. Long pass out wide to Bonke. And he surrenders the possession, and Maguire has it back for Warrington.
Just a panic there to try to keep that ball alive. That's the second occasion now that Featherstone been in a very good position to score and have wasted the opportunity. Silly passing under pressure.
That's a good run from Shelford. He got away from Malloy, and he's still going, Shelford. Back last week, or a fortnight ago rather, as a substitute, and scored a try. And in from the start here today. They'll be well pleased to see him back. Such an important figure.
Yeah, it's a great player, Kelly Shelford. He does make this Warrington side tick. He's the man that gets the moves going.
His pass then into the arms of Derbyshire. Derbyshire is bundled into touch. That's good play from Carl Gibson.
Good play by Gibson and Bonke. Never allowing the man to go down onto the ground. The experience showing there, Carl Gibson. Been around a while. Talented player.
Former international, 11 caps for Great Britain, Carl Gibson, 31 years old. Here's Leo Casey now for Featherstone again.
Francis Maloney down from that tackle. Really did go in a bit awkward. Stray knee, I think, caught him. Getting treatment in the back there.
On halfway, it's Featherstone. Tuta dropped it really, but luckily for him, Mark Nixon was there, the New Zealand international. All a bit hurry-scurry at the moment from these two sides. Match waiting to settle down, and the crowd almost holding its breath here at Wilderspool, also waiting for something spectacular to happen. Wilson with a deep kick straight into the arms of Penny.
Not a very good kick there from Wilson.
Well, there's the spectacular that we asked for, a lovely run from Penny, and he feeds Roper, and Roper and Penny there make Warrington fully 60 metres. Penny the man supporting the attack, he was the dummy half. Good play from the two Warrington youngsters. And they're not letting Penny get to his feet. Steve Cross says, get on with it. Mackie turns the ball back to Barlow. Barlow, lovely ball round the corner. Harris, but the referee's blown the whistle. I think he's pulled them back for the
forward pass.
Forward pass, yes.
Touch judge comes on, but it certainly was a forward pass from the hooker, Barlow. Nice support play, but you can just see it there. Couldn't get it round Richard Gunn enough. It's nice to see that the wingers will support. Little doubt from the high shot there, you can see quite clearly. He was saying about it was pretty tough and tight in the forwards. It would help a little if Steve Cross, the referee, started to get them back the full 10. Both sides are encroaching.
Well, it's just getting a little bit niggly. And it's a stilly penalty now that Featherstone have conceded. Neil Roebuck, the culprit.
Well, you can see the prop forward, Gary Tees, striking for the football before the ball had touched the ground. You can't strike for it until it is placed on the ground. How often do you get the retaliator, which in this occasion was the halfback Neil Roebuck? We've got to keep a close eye on this. Steve Cross, the referee, tempers are flaring.
That's a good run, though, from Tees. Barlow, the dummy half. Attacks down the blind side with Maguire, and it takes 4 to wrestle him to the ground. That's a very sloppy play, the ball. The referee says play on. Barlow trying to butter his way to the line. 2 metres short, the ball has come out, and it's got to be a penalty, that. Steve Malloy protesting his innocence.
Well, he just threw the ball at him. He released the ball. He got kidded there, did Steve Malloy. The hooker, Barlow, he just threw the ball at him. Well, he got away with it, not surprisingly. Steve Malloy appealing to the referee. The hooker, Barlow, comes away with a big grin on his face. He knows he's been conned. He knows that he's got away with it. Clearly threw the ball at him.
So it's a penalty to Warrington, and it's going to be Iestyn Harris. Welsh international Harris, only 18 years of age. He faced the Australians twice in 10 days. Welsh stand-off and then centre for Warrington against the Kangaroos. An injury denied him an under-21 cap against the Aussies also. So Harris, one of the bright young things here at Wilderspool. And he misses. That's not the best kick that Iestyn Harris has ever put in either. 0-0.
Missed by a mile. Well, this is why it was all given the penalty there. You can now watch for the hooker. He just releases the ball at him. Not surprising that... oh, that's a real meal from the Australian. You may have got away with the first one, but not the second one from Bruce Maguire.
Looks like the helmet dropped in front of his eyes there, didn't it?
Certainly is a wonderful contraption that he wraps around his bonds, isn't it?
Matt Callan with the run. Here's Bonke. He's drifted in field from the left wing. Greeted by Hilton there and Cullen. Roebuck and Casey through the gap. Chances here. The ball inside to Bonke. It's a forward pass. And that could have been... It's not Bonke, it's Ikram Butt who picked up the ball inside. But my word, forward.
Yes, you'll see that it's clearly forward as well. The winger, Ikram Butt, had to stretch out for that. It's a beautiful break, though. Leo Casey did the right thing, but the pass just going astray, going forward at the last moment. Another chance gone begging. That's the third occasion that Featherstone have ruined their position.
Right, Johnson looking on, a little concerned at the moment. Certainly the break tore Warrington to pieces down the middle, and had the pass to Ikram Butt not been forward, Featherstone would have been celebrating the first points of the afternoon. As it is, Warrington are in possession. Here's Maguire. Loses it, but this time the referee Steve Cross says he had it stolen from him.
And he's right. It's a hooker, Richard Gunn, dragging the ball away. The eagle eye of Stephen Cross.
So penalty Warrington. Maloney takes it, finds touch this time.
Well, I'm a bit surprised the defence is coming up. Referee having trouble getting them back to full 10. They've got to start changing the tactics, both sides. They've got to start splitting them with a little kick or the chip over the top.
Mackie and Tees running at full pelt, but good stiff defence. And Leo Casey felt that. He's just holding the hip at the moment as this attack launches for Warrington with Penny. Derbyshire the dummy half. Cullen. Lovely ball, Maguire. Good scrambling defence again from Featherstone. Quick play of the ball here. Featherstone stretched out wide. Mackie's seen it. This is Shelford. Shelford hauled up and hauled down.
Did well there, Calland and the loose forward, Brendan Tudor. They didn't go for the dummy. Oh, that's close.
It's the turnover, it's on the last tackle. And that looked high. Matt Callan certainly shook the marbles, that challenge. They're piling in again, Warrington. Well, somebody does have to inject a bit of something into this match. The opening quarter has been scrappy, to say the least. A rugged encounter so far.
Well, we expected it to be tough, but you can see there that they're not policing this 10. They're allowing him to sneak up on the outside. He's just not taking control of him, I'm afraid. Oh, what a mistake.
An awful error from Warren Wilson, and he knows it too.
Kept his eyes on the man coming towards him. You can see it was Barlow that was tracking him down. That's what happens when you take your eyes off the football, look at the man coming towards you. Lack of concentration, it could be costly.
Warrington's head and feed at this scrum. Well, they've sorted each other out for the opening quarter of the match. Now is the time for something to happen, one feels. It's Lee Penny who's gone in at dummy half. Well, something has happened.
Yeah, the centre coming off the ball. You could see that the impact hit the ball then straight up over the top. In the centre there, Matt Calland having a nice little talking to on the referee, and rightly so. Looks as though he's going to give him the opportunity to stay on the field. Crowd don't like it. Calland is a relieved man.
Matt Calland has been shown the red card once this season already at Widnes for Featherstone, but he gets the benefit of the doubt from Stephen Cross today, and Warrington deciding to run that penalty. Kelly Shelford ducking under the challenge from Mark Nixon. Tudor just about allowing Shelford to get to his feet. This is Mackie. Mackie gets it away to Hilton. There's a lot of silliness going on at the play of the ball, isn't there, at the moment? But there's a lovely kick through for Forster. And Forster has been given the 4. And what a rich vein of form this fellow's in. Mackie with the sliding kick through that beat the defence, and Forster's pace. He now has 16 tries this season.
Well, it didn't surprise me that it was the kick that brought the first point. The beautiful kick from Mackie. The timing was perfect. You could see that they'd come in tight. And Forster, who's having a tremendous season, there was nothing that the Frenchman, Banque, could do. Look at this superb kick into the corner. It's a set move. And whether Forster got the right hand on it to it, the Frenchman appeals to the referee. But look at the deliberate kick there. That is superb play. Sucked right in. Forster gets out on the outside. The Frenchman was caught.
And Mark Forster now with 16 tries this season. That was his best ever return a full decade ago. Tries now in each of the last 4 matches for Mark Forster. He's in super form. Iestyn Harris then with the conversion attempt. First kick missed by a mile. That one has gone closer, but still just swirls away in front of the posts. 4-0 though, Warrington lead, Forster's try.
You can see how the French winger is just a little bit in on the inside, tightened it through, and it was enough for the Forster to squeeze on the outside. Great try.
Yes, Mark Forster will be well pleased. 2 caps for Great Britain way back in 1987. Malcolm Reilly's first 2 internationals in charge against the French. 16 tries now. 1 here this afternoon. Warrington ahead 4-0. That's an awful kick-off. Out on the full. It's all just gone slightly wrong for Warren Wilson in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Well, all it takes is just one mistake to knock your confidence. But that really was a bad one, wasn't it? He knows it too. Still, they're only 4 points adrift.
And Warrington now can rebuild from midway inside the Featherstone half rather than, well, I was going to say, rather than midway inside their own half. The referee says play on. Hilton was convinced that that ball was stolen from him. The referee said play on. It's Gary Price. It's a great run. Callan taking over. Well, what on earth happened there?
Well, the referee deemed that it wasn't pulled out, but it was obvious that Tuta did. Either way, both sides stopped. They were waiting for the whistle. They were convinced.
Ikram Butt standing in the tackle well, getting it to Roebuck. Here's Tuta, who definitely stole that ball. But he fooled the referee. Malloy.
Well, I'm not so sure the ploy of using Brendan Tuta close to the rucks is paying off for Featherstone too. I'd like to see him play out a little bit wider like this guy does.
Lovely ball that from Dive. The fullback Wilson drops it. Was that stolen? No, it was a drop. And that's the 3rd error from Warren Wilson in the last couple of minutes.
Well, you can see the second rower there, Paul Cullen, did get a hand to it. Right in front of the referee's nose. Didn't sniff that one out. Little doubt in my mind that Paul Cullen was the culprit. He got away with it.
And so it's Warrington in possession with Forster. Penny is the man in at dummy half. Barlow, the New Zealand hooker. New signing for Warrington. Getting the ball out wide. That's Derbyshire. Possession little to choose. 53% to 47 in the opening 26 minutes. Little to choose on the scoreboard either, just 4-0. Warrington, of course, who lost at Featherstone, 10 points to 26 at the start of the season in September.
Mikey can't believe it. He said that that ball went backwards. Deliberately pushed it backwards as well. Just got a fingertip to it. Lost control of it.
So Featherstone in possession. Here's the French winger, Freddie Banquet.
See a lot of niggling going on in this tackle. Especially at the play of the ball as well. A lot of talking. I just get the feeling this could explode any minute.
Tuta gets the ball away neatly. Roebuck, no way through for him. Dive. Derbyshire just releasing the ankles at the opportune moment. Here goes Malloy. Looking round the corner. Callan was steaming up in support. But that's the last tackle for Featherstone. Malloy makes a total meal of it. And now the referee gives the knock-on, not for the first instant, but for the second. Not for that.
Well, that's play on. Even though he didn't intend to do it, you can play it forward if you like. As long as it clears away from the ruck, you can do that, and that's what it did.
Penalty Warrington. They moved off the mark, Featherstone, I think.
Yeah, a little bit too quick there, the half-back, Neil Roebuck. Said that he moved away from the mark, and there you can see quite clearly. Well, both sides are having a fair old natter with the referee, Steve Cross. Also having a few words to say to each other.
David Ward, Featherstone Rovers coach. Hilton, Warrington prop forward.
Well, Warrington would be better served running the angles a little bit more, rather than running straight.
Cullen and Shelford, and he finds Roper. Roper, that was forward. Referee Steve Cross almost had to duck out of the way of that pass. He says play on. Warrington with Mackey, and now Shelford and Harris. And Harris scores. Well, I just wonder whether Warrington got out of jail then after that pass that went over the top almost of the referee, but Harris wasn't arguing.
Beautiful play on the blind side. Kelly Shelford came into the bean. It was Mackey that set it up. And look how Shelford drew the man in. And the young Welshman, Euston Harris, in for a great try. There's a pass. Well, the referee is in a good position. It looked okay, didn't it? From that. By the way, I don't want to dwell upon it, but it was a beautiful pass out wide. Look how Shelford drew in there, and I'm afraid Ikram Butt was left in no man's land, allowing that youngster in for the four.
Euston Harris then with the try. Not in form yet with the kicking, but Harris over, as was his opposite winger Mark Forster just 7 minutes ago. So it's 8-0 now to Warrington. This kick will make it 10. He's getting closer, but still he can't find the mark. 8-0 Warrington.
There's Ikram Butt, he's arrowed. You can see how he's coming to go for Shelford. He leaves the gap out wide. They call it no man's land. You get no reward for that, but this guy does. Well worked.
Well, the referee has called for the timekeepers to stop the watches because we, at the moment, haven't got a ball. Now we have. And Warren Wilson will restart this match. And the time is back on. Wilson, that's a better kick. Much better kick. And Cullen, I think his foot touched the line.
It did indeed. Just a lack of concentration. You'll see the foot go over. Bad mistake there. A chance for Featherstone to clamber back into the match.
Paul Cullen, he has been here since November 1980 when he joined from the Crossfields Amateur Club. His blunder, though, has meant that Warrington must drop out from underneath their own posts. Good length on the kick, it reached halfway, but a thunderous challenge from Mark Hilton. Now here's Calland taking on Maguire. Richard Gunn, the dummy half, misses out Tutor, finds Malloy. How Steve Malloy would like to lead the Featherstone Rovers side to victory here today. Malloy, the prop forward for Featherstone, now had 50 appearances for Warrington as he began his career. Dive gets the ball away to Calland. Lovely skill from Calland, and that was Ikram Butt over for the four. Oh, that was a great try. Beautifully created. Ricky Stewart did it at Ellen Road last week. The ball out the back door. Just watch this.
Wonderful play. Nice long ball out there. And Dive, he's making a lot of impression out wide. But look at the pass from Callan. That is superb stuff, but great positioning from Ikram Butt. He was caught out of time to allow Euston Harris in for the try, but Dive's burst out wide and good support play. This is wonderful skills on the inside, but it all comes about by good backing up from the winger. But Dive is having a field day out there. Look at this. Super stuff, full control. And let's not forget, it all came about from that silly mistake from Paul Cullen from the kickoff.
Ikram Butt then, try against Warrington home and away 2 years ago when Featherstone were relegated. Now Bonke with this conversion attempt to really put Featherstone back in the hunt here. And he's kicked it too. Low trajectory on the kick, but it found the mark, and Warrington 8 and Featherstone now 6. A great play from the Rovers here.
You can see Mackey going out for the pass out wide. It left the gap on the inside and Dive went through it. He's a strong man, gets the ball away, but look at the support play. This is the key. When the wingman comes in from the right there, right down the middle, he's well rewarded.
Excellent try. So Warrington restart. The lead cut by 6 points. 8-6 it is, and that will do the Featherstone Rovers confidence, Steve. What power of good.
It's amazing, isn't it? You take your chances. Silly mistake there when at a period where Warrington appeared to be taking control of this game, raced to an 8-point lead, and from the kickoff, from the Euston try, the bad mistake, and Maguire's caught for going high. Well, he used the shoulder. Didn't look too high to me. Just a shoulder contact. Australian looked a bit bemused, and rightly so.
Warrington enjoying 7-4 advantage in the penalty count, but they not enjoying that particular penalty conceded by Maguire, according to Stephen Cross. And Casey again will take it up for Featherstone, who, remember, played against Wigan in midweek and were beaten by 30 points to 6 on Wednesday. Not only did they lose that match, they lost fullback Lee Senior when he broke his arm. That's why Warren Wilson is in the side today at fullback, number 1. So Featherstone perhaps might tire as this match progresses. There's nothing tired about their display so far. And Tuta being held down by the collar. That could easily have been a penalty. As it is, Dive will keep this movement going if he can, but not under challenges like that from Maguire and Mackey.
Not only that, Tuta lashed out with a boot, and he was responded from Tees. Well played by Forster. Nice little kick through from Roebuck. That could have turned out very nasty. This is the kick through from the little halfback, or should I say, a little bit bigger than little. Nice kick through there. And Forster always eager to look for that. That really could have turned out nasty. Tuta and Gary Tees really did lash out with a boot at each other.
Nixon. Good tackling by Maguire. Here's Bonke again. Tees with the tackle. Maguire in there too once more. Let's do a lot of work, as does Tuta. Tried to run straight over the top of Barlow. Featherstone playing with a bit more vim and a bit more vigour here. And that ball played pitter-patter-cake. And it's now in the arms of Yestin Harris. And he skates away from 1 and 2. Can't get away from Callan, though.
Well, a bit of misunderstanding there. Malloy thought he was going to be the dummy runner. Supposed to go to the second rower, Gary H. Price. Just lost their way slightly, I'm afraid. They've had plenty of chances, Featherstone, but they've just frittered their opportunities when they get close to the Warrington line.
Barlow keeps the movement going to Cullen. He finds Shelford. Shelford tips the ball back inside to Gary Tees. Tees keeps it going again to Barlow. Good support play this from Warrington. Mackey and Harris off the shoulder of Penny. Not on, says Stephen Cross, much to the dismay of the Warrington crowd.
I don't know why. I think you'll find the fullback definitely got the fingers to it. The ball was going in a forward motion. Little doubt in my book. There you see the ball is going forward, even though it does bounce backward when it hits the ground. Good referee.
Mark Nixon. Callendon quickly to dummy half. Gets away from Barlow. 14 handling errors. It's level pegging in that count. Not too much to choose between them on the scoreboard either, as Diva drives it almost through the chest of Maguire.
Having problems putting the big French second row man down.
Tuta. Ball was stolen. Referee right on the spot, had not a shadow of a doubt.
Shelford there, grasping the ball away. Tuta looking to get the ball, but Shelford.
What is it with the players, Steve-O? Because obviously the referee and touch judges now acting like Hawkeye, looking for those things all the time. Is it a question that every now and again they're going to get away with one or two and it's worth the risk?
Well, I think it's a case of that, yeah. They realise that the referees sometimes get confused. I'm not saying they are confused all the time. It is a problem. I don't know why they don't just eliminate the rule and say it's open slather. If you want to take the ball away, tell you what, if they did that, the guys wouldn't release it so easily. It's a bit of a catch-22 situation. And don't think that coaches don't practice it at training.
So the French winger now with this chance to put Featherstone back level pegging as we approach half-time. But he's sliced it wide. I was going to say, if that one sailed over, that Featherstone really would think that they have got out of jail free here. But they're trailing 8-6.
Unusual style from the Frenchman. Doesn't have much follow through with the boots. Sort of just like punches it. Like a stab kick through. Everyone to their own styles, I suppose.
Mark Nixon will run this back as we are now in stoppage time, first half. Richard Gunn, Warren Wilson now. Grounded 10 metres inside his own half of the field. Richard Gunn on the halfway line. I say the Warrington defensive line is a little bit like a dog's hind leg all round the referee, but there goes the half-time siren, and it was Mark Forster's try that set Warrington off on their way, his 16th of the season, followed up quickly by the Welshman Iestyn Harris. That made it 8-0 to Warrington. They looked plain sailing then and on their way towards what could well turn out to be a victory, but back came Featherstone Rovers, and we have an 8-6 scoreline at half-time. Harris, though, with this try, he was celebrating at one stage.
You're watching Sky Sports 2. Premiering in December on Sky's movie channels.
I'll be back.
Schwarzenegger, the last action hero. Christian Slater and Marisa Tomei, Untamed Heart.
Got any naked pictures of your wife?
Tom Selleck is Mr. Baseball.
Want to see some?
Dustin Hoffman and Gina Davis.
Who saved my life?
Accidental Hero.
No way.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Hang on for Stallone's cliffhanger.
I got what you want.
Sky TV. No turning back. Don't miss any of December's premieres on Sky's 3 great movie channels. Call 0506 484 777. That's 0506 484 777 and we'll switch you on.
What's the verdict then?
The hip's coming along nicely. I'm not sure if all that standing about in rivers is going to be such a good idea, though.
You sound like my daughter.
Ever thought about taking up golf?
Why not? Why not?
Here you are, Dad.
Good morning. I see you give lessons. Good. Excellent. I am rather old.
Right. Let's see what sort of swing you've got.
Something like this. Only joking. I think I'm going to enjoy this.
TV presenter Ulrika Johnson uses Head and Shoulders.
On TV, people always notice your hair, so it's got to look perfect, which means dandruff would be headline news. I've used lots of shampoos, but my stylist convinced me to try Head and Shoulders. I found Head and Shoulders not only takes care of dandruff, but its rich lather really takes care of my hair. Now all I've got to worry about is my lines.
Head and Shoulders. Forget dandruff. Have beautiful hair. From now on, all performance cars are green. Modern cars, silver. Family cars, dark blue. Diesels are red. And older cars are light blue. Esso quality oils are color-coded, so choosing the right oil has never been so simple. Esso Simple.
Sainsbury's, where good food costs less.
Boneless chicken breast, save £1.50 per pound.
And less.
Sainsbury's UHT pure orange juice, only £1.99.
And less.
This Christmas at Debenhams, you'll find wrappers and crackers and jolly green snappers, fun furs that look right and sense that delight. Sockses in boxes and mousses to boot. Sparkling gowns and dressing gowns. Family gifts at affordable prices. At Christmas, the difference is Debenhams.
Oh.
Sorry.
It'll take more than that to wake her. A proper cup of Tetley should do the trick.
She's stirring.
So am I.
It's all right. It's Tetley.
Sydney, my little prince. It's the best cup of tea I've had in years.
Recording something should be as simple as watching it. The new Ferguson video with built-in satellite video plus. Ferguson, the bigger picture.
Seize the day.
So Warrington ahead 8-6 in this Stonesborough Championship match at Wilderspool. Second half now underway, and Featherstone have made a change during the interval. The fullback Warren Wilson has gone off. He's taking a spell in the blood bin, having stitches in a gaping wound in his chin from all accounts, and on has come Darren Hughes. Carl Gibson begins this second half as the Featherstone last line of defence. There's Gibson, no stranger to that role for Featherstone. But the ball is with Warrington and with Maguire. Stepping run from the tall second row forward, but brought to grief by Casey and by Roebuck. This is Mackey, and he finds Cullen. Maloney just drifts one over the top, and Gibson shuttles over to collect it first bounce. A wall of four defenders to greet Gibson. No way through. There's Darren Hughes, the substitute. Signed last season from Leeds in the deal which took Gary Rose in the opposite direction to Headingley. Very Bonquet, the French winger, picks himself up, plays the ball to Gunn. Gunn to Gary Price, just juggling with it slightly. Gunn again. This time the ball comes this way. Tutor and Dive. Nowhere for Dive to pass to. He has to take the tackle. It's the last one. Tutor at dummy half. Here's Roebuck. Slip over the top from Roebuck, and it just goes the wrong side of the flag and runs dead touch in goal.
The idea was there from the half-back. It's a little bit too strong. That's the type of game they've got to get going in the second half, try to turn Warrington around. I suspect that the Warrington coach, Brian Johnson, would have told his charges, oh, hold him down there. Brought forward Leo Casey, caught in that instance. Going back to Brian Johnson, I'm sure that he would have had a few words to say to his challenges to get the ball out wide. I was a little bit disappointed with the way that Mackey and Maloney had not got the link working. And when you've got Harrison, Forster, Derbyshire and Roper, their talent in the three quarters, I'm sure they'll find a few chinks out wide.
Warrington ahead then, 8 points to 6, started this second half. Just 3 defeats from 18 First Division meetings here against Featherstone over the years. And the play will come back for the forward pass.
Well, the hooker went running through this. You can see that Barlow just overrun it. Coming off the chest. No full control. Head and feet of Featherstone.
Just going back to the past record between these two, as I say, 3 defeats from 18 First Division meetings here for Warrington. But Warrington have won just 3 times away from home, and that's why the overall picture is quite close. Meanwhile, the overall picture on the field at the moment is one of trouble. And Derbyshire, Derbyshire, Gary Tees, the prop forward, in a bit of pain. Referee and touch judge have separated the warring factions.
Well, you see he flops down as Gary Tees. Carl Gibson didn't like it. There you see the elbow, and he swings, misses, has another go. Well, you wouldn't call him Tyson, would you? Wouldn't give him many points for that, but that's a definite flop, you can see. Tries to use the elbow here. There you see Gibson, then swings, misses. Had a bit of a connect that one, missed again. Well, maybe didn't do boxing at school. He may have just dislocated a finger as well during that little melee. Either way, Featherstone get the penalty.
And so Featherstone will come forward at Warrington now with Malloy. Greeted by 3 Warrington defenders. Here's Dive. And Tutor. He finds Roebuck. Out wide from Roebuck to Gary Price. Casey finds Tutor. Here's Roebuck. Casey again. Nice stepping run from Nixon, but Maguire held on to his shorts. Pulled him down. Roebuck. Malloy. Featherstone have the scent of victory here. He started this second half. Barlow. I know, of course, that Warrington are without their star man, Davis, and Bateman also missing. Mind you, to be fair, as Roebuck dropped it, Featherstone without a couple as well. Aston and Currier, for instance. And Pearson, long-term injury.
Well, a bad mistake there from Neil Roebuck. Once again, it was a problem in the first half with Featherstone. They get in a good position to launch for an attack to score a try, and then they just squander it with silly mistakes.
Mackey and Cullen. Oh, he tried to pass the ball off the ground, and Penny just couldn't hang on to it, but if it would have come off, it would have been breathtaking.
Hard lines there with good work from Cullen. Twisting in the tackle, hard work. He knew that Penny was going to ghost through on the inside. Just couldn't grasp it in.
Featherstone Rovers just 1 win from 6 away games. That was David Ward's only triumph. It was a 20 points to 10 win against Oldham at Watersheddings. Warrington are unbeaten at home here this season. But they're hanging on to that unbeaten home record by the narrowest of margins here. Just 2 points. 6.5 minutes, second half gone. Bit of a battle for Warrington so far today. And Roebuck has lost his shorts. Well, that's a bit cheeky. Tutor and Malloy. Malloy back to Tutor. Oh, mistake from Nixon. Well, they are contributing to their own downfall, Featherstone.
Well, it appears as though they don't want to win this game. Got to keep your eyes on the football at all time. Nixon not realising that Tutu was trying to get the ball away. Two vital errors from Featherstone in good positions.
Now, can Warrington launch an attack from deep in their own half with Forster? Not with tackling like that. Nixon trying to atone for the error. Here's Barlow. An untidy play the ball, and strangely enough, a bit more space ahead of Barlow because of that. The Featherstone defence had all moved right.
Looked pretty high there from Leo Casey.
Hilton gritting his teeth as he took that ball up. Now Penny. That's a good run from Penny. Gets past Dive. It wasn't the best challenge. He's got support there from Mackey. Perhaps it should have gone before Nixon got the tackle in. But that's much better from Warrington. And it's come now to Maloney, but the referee will bring them back for the knock-on.
Crowd claiming that the ball was taken away, but you'll see that Shelford tried to get it away. Roebuck's arm came through on it. Definitely dragged the ball out of his grasp. Not surprisingly, the Partisan crowd not too happy. This was a great run, though, from Leo Penny. Shelford had used the dummy runner. Used Derbyshire to go through, and long ball out wide. More of that, please.
Ikram Butt bounces off two challenges. Tries to skip away from Tees and can't do so. And that's Gunn, who just switched the direction of the attack to Steve Malloy. Dive on halfway, surrounded by four.
Well, they're still persisting with using Brendan Tutor as the first man. Let's see the logic behind that, and that is another mistake.
Tutor's pass out wide, and Darren Hughes just couldn't hang on to it.
They seem to be panicking far too much to Featherstone. You see the ball just going behind the substitute, Darren Hughes. But they really are trying to force the pass when they'd be better served just to calm things down a little bit. Gary H. Price receiving a little bit of treatment. This is the knock-on. You can see the ball. Never any chance for Hughes to bring that in.
And you probably saw in the background there that Gary Price was injured when he took a fairly stiff challenge from Derbyshire. And Gary Sanderson has come on for Warrington now. He's replaced Bruce Maguire. I wonder if Sanderson's arrival can perhaps lift this game, because it's been a little predictable so far, and errors, I'm afraid, have been strewn through it like that.
Well, it's a matter of deciding whether the ball was taken away from him. I think it was on that occasion again. But he's been very lenient on these 10 metres of Steve Cross. They're sneaking up. You can see clearly that they're moving before the ball has hit the ground. That not only frustrates the fans, it frustrates the players. It makes the game into a one-out affair.
Dog's hind leg, isn't it? No doubt about that.
But either way, neither side have realised that perhaps to break it down is use the kicking. Just a short grubber or just a lob over the top.
Well, yes, that is a good decision from Steve Cross, because Matt Callan was attempting to move the ball out.
Yeah, you could see that Shelford was going for the arm, not the ball.
So Warrington in possession. Well, that was not played. And what's more, he was not allowed to play it, Jonathan Roper. It's a Warrington penalty. Matt Callan was all over him.
You have to lay off a man once you've made the tackle. And that really is a silly mistake from Matt Callan. Well, the energy and he's running high on both sides. They really are panicking. Whichever side decides to take control, slow things down, get into a game plan, will probably run away with this game late in the match. But at the moment, it's panic personified, isn't it? Okay, go on, you're all right. Go on.
David Ward, the Featherstone coach, has moved down from the stand here at Wilderspool and is down on the bench now. Looking at the watch, To see how long has gone, we can tell in 52 minutes and 15 seconds this game. And Iestyn Harris with this penalty. Misses another. So Iestyn Harris not in the best form with the kicking. That's 4 misses for the young Welsh international. So a drop out on the 20-metre mark. And Warrington back in possession again with Forster.
Now then, will we see Warrington start using this ball out wide? They persisted with the forwards. We'll say it's not helping with the fact they're not getting back to 10 quickly.
This is Mackey, and he gets the ball away to Maloney. Here's Sanderson. Just couldn't hang on to it. Couldn't young Jonathan Roper.
You can see Roper looking at the tackle. You can see Callan moving well and truly into the line. Well, there's been plenty of mistakes today. Most of them forced errors.
Ikram Butt with nowhere to go. Warren Wilson, by the way, has returned for Featherstone Rovers from his spell in the blood bin. But the Rovers have also made another change. Gary S. Price has come on. There he is, in possession of the football right now. Malloy. The man, by the way, that Price has replaced is Leo Casey, who has gone off. And there's the other Price, that's Gary H. Gibson, that's a good ball out to Bonke. Bonke dabs it down the line. Soccer skills from Bonke. And he's got the try, I think. He most certainly has. And they were so very, very slow to cut out the danger then, Warrington. And they paid the ultimate price. Soccer skills from the Frenchman. That's his first today, his 6th this season.
What on earth was the fullback Lee Penny doing on this occasion? It was wonderful play on the blind side by Featherstone. Got the ball out wide. The superb pass from Gibson. He sucked in the winger. But what on earth was the fullback doing here? He committed himself to go for the kick and decided not to. It was too late. The Frenchman was away. Good work by Price. Got the ball away. Malloy into it. But Gibson dragged him in. He knew he'd nowhere to go. Now this is where the fullback, he just hesitates. Do I kick or do I drop on it? It was too late. Great play by the Frenchman. Bonke quite happy, and why not?
Indeed so, and Featherstone hit the front courtesy of their leading try scorer on his own now, Frederick Bonke. That's his 6th of the season. And he's kicked 1 out of 3 so far. He's trying to now make his 4 points into 6. Well, are we on the verge of a turn-up for the books here? Featherstone in front for the first time. 10 points to 8. Difficult conversion attempt for him. And so difficult that he's missed it. Kicking today has not been of the highest quality, but Featherstone Rovers have nosed ahead by 10 points to 8.
You're watching Sky Sports 2. The heat is on at the Gabba as England take on Australia in the first test. See all the action live and right through the night. Coverage starts at 11:30 p.m. and continues right up to the last ball at 7 a.m. The Ashes, in association with Ford Mondeo, tonight live and exclusive on Sky Sports.
Do you have a special orange light on your video? We do, and ours is very, very special. A very special orange light from JVC.
Sorry. It'll take more than that to wake her. A proper cup of Tetley should do the trick.
She's stirring.
So am I.
It's all right. It's Tetley.
Sydney, my little prince. It's the best cup of tea I've had in years.
Little honey bunny.
Oh, yeah. She's gone.
To McDonald's Movies and Meals Month. Buy any extra value meal, big breakfast, or large sandwich, and get classic film videos like Look Who's Talking and Look Who's Talking 2 for just $4.99.
No.
Yes. And 2 pounds off any one of 10 other titles.
What a sweetie.
You must be thinking the same thing I am. Lunch.
Get your choice from 4 videos for just $4.99 at McDonald's.
Right, they went on me.
Changing your lifestyle and getting healthy. Here we go.
Healthy? That's an idea.
Let's stretch it up. Woo! And down to the side.
Kellogg's Bran Flakes are an easy way to get into a healthier lifestyle.
Let's go for the burn.
They have more fiber than most other cereals, they're low in fat, but taste great.
And down. Okay, Victoria, you're looking good.
Well, I think I'll go for the burn tomorrow.
Kellogg's Bran Flakes, a step in the right direction.
Mark Hilton with that run towards the quarter mark. Referee trying to police the 10 yards that they play the ball from the play-the-ball area.
Well, he hasn't done it with running back. He may as well try it from that area.
Mackey, angled run from Shelford. He finds Penny trying to make up for the error, and he does brilliantly. Penny ghosted in, and he knows he came up with a big blunder at the other end, but he's now come up with 4 points at the right end.
He looks a relieved man as well. It was a beautiful switch again. Mackey onto Shelford. How many times do they do this through the season? Used a dummy runner in Bateman, but look at the step there. It was Dive. Tuta did not move across in the sliding defence, but Dive was caught out wide. It was enough for the man to go through. The angle run, you'll see Shelford come back on the inside. Uses the dummy runner, Bateman across, and you can see Dive was stood. Tuta couldn't switch across. And this man is lethal from close. Beautiful step. Great try.
Lee Penny with the try then, the under-21 international. Returned to the side 6 games ago, and all 5 in the big league have been won. Now, Yestin Harris, 0 from 4, but this one eminently kickable for him. Puts it over this time, flags go up, the smile tells its own story. At last he says, I'm off the mark with the kicking, 14-10.
Dive out wide, Tuta didn't slide, the gap was there. And watch the step at the end, look how he moves his body across. Wonderful try. A relieved man, I'm sure, Lee Penny. Made up for that drastic error. And now it's Warrington in the driving seat again.
Yes, back in front. 14-10, Sanderson with the run. Gibson there, so too Dive to bring him down. There's Alan Bateman. Hamstring problem. Couldn't last the full 80 minutes, as coach Brian Johnson said, so that's why he was on the bench. Certainly Warrington have missed his pace and class. It's a very, very narrow 10 metres at the play of the ball.
Oh, he's just lost control of it. The players are taking no notice whatsoever. Look, there's a referee shouting them back, they're just standing in front.
Doesn't make for the best game, does it, when that sort of thing happens? The defenders are on, the men in possession almost before they've got hold of the football. Now then, Barlow trying to place it past Bonke, couldn't do so.
Well, that was hard lines. The ball just hit Bonke's legs. Nice run on the blind side from Kiri Barlow. Done some nice stuff today. Nice tackle as well. The crowd right behind them. Oh, look at that. That was even 5. Never mind 10.
So the referee is trying to drag them all back. When it's not a quick play, the ball, it seems to work, but when the players try to inject a bit of pace, well, it's all over the show, as it is now. Wilson flips the kick over the top into the arms of Harris. Now, how have these two sides finished? Well, Featherstone have scored quite a bit of their tries in the last quarter, 37% of them. Warrington have conceded a third of their tries too in this period of the match, and both of them have the chance here to win the game.
Holding down, interfering at the play of the ball. Richard Gunn, Steve Malloy, take your pick. Steve Cross did.
Gary Tees with the drive for Warrington. Allowed to play it to himself, there was no one there. Makes a few more yards. 11-6 the penalty count. Warrington 14-10 on the scoreboard. Roper! And he's just held up. Barlow, the dummy half, fires it back and a bit too quick. But maybe it will come off for Warrington. It has. Francis Maloney, that was quick thinking, and the referee says 6 more tackles here for Warrington. Mackey jinking and trying to find a chink in that Featherstone Rovers defensive armour. They're so close now, Warrington. Maloney. Good ball. Roper, try, is it? Referee's right on the spot and says he hit the line with the ball. Jonathan Roper, first try of the season. The Academy International.
This is where the 6 to go. It was good work by Maloney. It paid off for his persistence. They couldn't hang on to it. Gary Price dropped it. But this was a beautiful run from Shelford. Maloney sets it up out wide. Watch how Shelford knows. Look how he delays the pass there. The centre goes through, and Jonathan Roper, he has the strength. Great positioning by the referee. Watch Shelford, he slows things down. It was enough to just drag Roebuck out. The gap was there. The young centre in for a fine try.
Yes, excellent try for Roper. Owed a lot to his strength and commitment and self-belief. And Yestin Harris has now hit the post. Well, he's gone either side. Missed it by a mile and hit the post. 18-10 though. Warrington now lead. And there's the try scorer, Jonathan Roper. First appearance of the season against Hull 3 weeks ago. He made his Cumbrian debut against the Australians on the opening game of this year's tour. And Roper, a lot of strength there. And the coaching double act here at Wilderspool, Brian Johnson on the left of your screen and Clive Griffiths, his assistant here, is chatting about the way the last quarter and hour of this match might go.
Well, they must be a little bit relieved there, and they can put it down to their loose forward, Kelly Shelford. He was the man that instigated the try to Lee Penny, running on the angle. And once again, he was the creator there for the youngster, Jonathan Roper. He's the type of player that you need in tight situations, especially when Featherstone had just taken the lead. Full credit to Warrington. They didn't throw the towel in. They came back with a bang. 2 great tries.
Cullen trying to take them on again. Here's Mackey. Back now with Maloney. He chips one over the top. Malloy didn't have to get out of the way.
Nice try from Maloney there, but it was well read by Mark Nixon, who was in the sweeper position.
Oh, we have a penalty for offside at the play of the ball. Raise a flag.
Never mind raise a flag, let's throw a party.
It's been like that all afternoon, hasn't it?
Well, to be fair, he's been consistent.
And it's, I think, about 5, that one, but still, let's not dwell on that point. Let's look for what Featherstone can do with this possession. Here's Price spinning in the tackle. Gallies.
Featherstone still have plenty of time to get back into this game, especially they've got the penalty.
Gary T's been penalised, I think, for the use of the elbow on the floor and not letting him get to his feet.
Well, he says that he was being held down.
He's got a case. Featherstone are running it. Didn't go for the 2. Feel they have the momentum here to get over for 4. Dive gets the ball away to Roebuck. The Warrington defence has moved up to close them down. That's good play from Bateman. Apparently the word from the touchline from David Ward was that they should have kicked for goal then, but the Featherstone players decided to try and get the 4. Will the gamble pay off with Roebuck now?
Well, if Featherstone have a set move, this is where they should be using it.
Price gets the ball away, and the ball is spilled, and it's going to be Featherstone with head and feet. Touch judge gave that decision.
A bit messy, wasn't it? He claimed that it came off a Warrington player. As though Harris has been deemed to have punched the ball clear off his head. Touch judge couldn't get any closer.
So a chance again here for Featherstone to get the 4 that they thought they were going to get when they got that penalty. Nixon, nowhere for him to go. Wilson's the dummy half. Here's Dive. Gets it away to Ikram Butt.
Well, Dive's the man that deserves a try today. He's worked hard throughout. That's pretty high.
Someone's on his way here. The referee's gone to his back pocket. Shelford's in the sin bin.
Well, all I can say is that he must have got him for either offside or trying deliberately to pull the ball out.
Well, I've no idea what that is for at all, but he's in the sin bin anyway.
Well, you can't use the sin bin for sin. I know it sounds silly.
Dive and the Featherstone Rovers supporters thought he scored the try. Roebuck. Great pressure on this Warrington line now. Tutor ball out wide to Gibson. Good tackle from Mackey, and it had to be. Gibson was just about to step on the inside. Great defence, it really is this from Warrington, but can they hang on? Price gets the ball away to Price the other. The ball goes forward, it will be no try.
Well, Matt Callan trying to get the ball out there. You could see Warren Wilson just looming up on the outside. On that occasion, he had to try to get it out. He knows that the clock is against him. It's ticking away. 8 points the difference.
And just 10 minutes to go, plus anything the timekeepers might add. Harris. Good run from Harris. Watched all the way by Callan.
Difficult man to get down, isn't he? Elusive player, Houston Harris. Star of the future and competent player now.
Featherstone enjoying the better of the possession, but not enjoying the right side of an 18-10 scoreline. Barlow fires it to Mackey, who in turn gets the ball away to Mark Hilton. Picks himself up. Barlow on halfway. It's been a hard slog for these two sides. Mackey hoists the up and under. He's after it himself. Wilson takes it cleanly.
Good work.
Take that.
Oh yeah, good work from both sides. Nice kick from Mackey, chased through, but Wilson very bravely took that ball. Well, it's no time for Warrington to go to sleep.
Referee looked to the touch judge for guidance then and said play on.
Well, he obviously didn't shout held. He was on the floor. The ball was taken out. If that was when it was taken out, then it should have been back to 6 or a penalty. As I say, Warrington can't afford to go to sleep now.
Dive fires the pass out to Tutor. Good tackling by Cullen. Two of the toughest nuts in the big league there, Tutor and Cullen. Not the best kick downfield. Harris wheels it in. Don't forget, after this match tonight here on Sky Sports 2, all the tries scored today in the First Division. Big League's usual comprehensive roundup of all the weekend action. Not long to wait for that now, and have Warrington long to wait for winning money. Just over 7 minutes to go, ahead by 8 points. Sands of time running out on Featherstone Rovers. Cullen will drive it in.
Well, they'll just play the percentage game there.
Cullen just stepped over that ball, he didn't play it.
Well, he was more intent on trying to get to him. Price put the knee in.
I was going to say, he just wanted to have a discussion with Gary Price, didn't he? That's charged down, the kick by Mackey. It was charged down by Hughes, and Mackey was offside. So I don't know what the crowd's screaming for. He was offside, surely.
Well, it depends where they deemed it. It looked as though it did come off Cullen's hand. He's correct. Pretty high kick, under a lot of pressure. Cullen getting the hand to it. Mackey in an offside position. Featherstone not done yet.
Malloy with that run. Featherstone are certainly not done yet. There's no doubt about that. There's life in the old dog here.
I know one thing, both sets of forwards will be happy to get in the bath tonight. It's been a real tough encounter there in the 2 sixes. They really have gone it in hammer and tongs throughout.
Dive, he's tried as hard as anybody. Good tackle, though, by Sanderson. Now then, Nixon wants to play the ball quickly, and because of that we get the untidy 10-metre rule. Forster's after it, and so too was Gibson, and Forster got to the kick through first.
Only just. Gibson really nearly got the fingertips to that. Once again, Mark Forster comes to the rescue. It's about the third occasion that he's done that. Well played. He knows it was touch and go, that one.
There's a lovely chip through by Nixon, and Gibson was so close to it. Tutor traps it, looks round, where's the support? It arrives from Warren Wilson. Less than 5 minutes to go now. Ikram Butt to Tutor, to Roebuck. Misses out two and finds Banquet. Forster's all round him, but he gets it away to Calland. Calland keeps the ball alive to Malloy. Malloy gets it to the substitute Gary Price. Roebuck, Dive, loses it. Forster picks up, and Dive makes up for the error.
Good tackle there from Bateman. You can see the impact. Dislodged the ball.
Lee Penny gingerly picking himself up. Warrington wanting to make a change. They want to bring Maguire on for Gary Tees. Bruce Maguire waiting for the opportunity.
Well, Warrington quite happy to play safety first. Use the big forwards again. Play out their full complement of six. Big kick downfield. Good chase, and they know they'll have this game in the bag.
There's Tees, the man that Warrington want to replace once they catch his eye. Remember, in the new guidelines from Greg McCullum, we don't have to wait for a break in play, though we do have one now.
The experience there, the Australian Greg Mackey, just slowing things down. He realises it's been a tough battle out there. 8 points is enough. Get them two valuable 2 points.
Tutor goes off, and Casey returns for Featherstone. Bruce Maguire still waiting, by the way, to come on for Warrington. Here's Dive for Featherstone. Richard Gunn, Roebuck, Malloy. Not the best.
Well, that should have been offside. You see the ball will go down, come off, and then it hits Malloy again, who was in an offside position. Not going to get away with that one. Referee classing it as accidental.
Barlow lost that.
Well, there's been plenty of errors throughout this game. A lot of players going and punching the ball away. It is a problem within our game at the moment, I'm afraid. Something has to be done, I'm sure, to do something to streamline that rule.
On comes Maguire. Off goes Gary Tees. It's a big game, Gary Tees. He's worked very hard. And Maguire to play out the last couple of minutes or so. Quay, he's tried hard too for Featherstone. Remember, we saw him make his debut earlier in the season. I think on day one, actually, against Wigan it was. Australian Featherstone coach then, Steve Martin, giving him his chance. He really has come on in leaps and bounds. He's now Featherstone's leading scorer, of course, after today. Dive, spinning and doing well, Danny Dive. Always works hard, this tall, long-legged Australian Frenchman. Banquet again, bit of space opens up for him. Ikram Butt is there. The support there from Nixon, and Featherstone are in. Well, we're in for quite a finish now.
Good play from Bonke, put them in the position. They kept the ball alive. Nixon swinging it out wide. Lovely long ball, and the Frenchman came back on the inside. Two Featherstone players going to the inside for it. Ikram Butt did the right thing. He knew that Nixon was going to be inside, and it was a beautiful step. And unfortunately, that's the reason why the Featherstone coach, David Ward, was a bit unhappy that they took the tap a few minutes earlier when they could have gone for the 2 points. This conversion could have tied things up, but there's still time. It's a great try, good support.
So Mark Nixon, his first try in Featherstone Rovers colours for the New Zealand international, and a second or two ago. Well, look at that awful conversion attempt from Bonke. It doesn't matter anymore that they took the penalty and ran it rather than kick for goal, and maybe that kick is the reason why. 18-14. Kelly Shelford has returned for Warrington from the sin bin. Shows the value, though, Steve-O, of a top-class quality goal kicker. We have not seen the best in the kicking department here today. Aston, of course, suspended. Davis injured. Otherwise, who knows what might have happened, eh?
Yeah, they've had their chances, haven't they? And I'm sure that the Featherstone coach, David Ward, will realise, and that's high. We're going to have a bit of drama to finish this game. Getting back to David Ward there. Well, it didn't look too bad to me. Just grasping around. Came off the shoulder from Jonathan Roper. And I'm sure that David Ward, the Featherstone coach, realises that they've had every chance to win this game. So many occasions they've spilled the ball when they've been in a tremendous position to score. They've certainly helped themselves to be their own worst enemy today.
That looked a forward pass from the restart then by Gunn to Steve Malloy. And Featherstone will come again. Well, can they possibly produce another try in the closing moments here? We're deep in stoppage time now.
Well, this guy won't give in. Daniel Dive has played his heart out. It's gamble time now for Featherstone, and this could be it.
Bonque, tracked by Shelford. That's good defence from Bateman, all over the back of Gary Price. Gibson. Featherstone suddenly want to really get on with it now. Gunn, quickly through the hands. Price again. Back to Wilson. It's a knock-on. There's the full-time siren. Warrington get the victory, but hardly a convincing performance from the men from Wilderspool. Both these two sides missing their stars. Danny Dive The second row forward for Featherstone tried very hard indeed. No one tried harder. Penny made a blunder at one end and atoned for it at the other with a try that pushed Warrington back in front. And from this moment, really, the Wire, although they were given a late shock by a late try, they never really looked back. Warrington march on at home.
You're watching Sky Sports 2.
Seize the day.
Victory for Warrington, 18 points to 14. 4 tries, Forster, Harris, Penny and Roper. Harris managing just 1 goal. Featherstone, Butt, Bonke and Nixon. Bonke managing just the 1 goal. But the man who made all the difference was Warrington's Kelly Shelford. Kelly, good to see you back in the first team. And Steve-O reckons you were the difference between Warrington winning and losing.
Well, you know, like you said, it's just good to be back. I had a bad injury in my shoulder for the last couple of weeks, and I've been training with the lads. It's just been frustrating being out. But like, you know, today, you know, it was 60% all right. But I'm just glad we won today.
Greg, the important thing is a win is a win.
Yeah, it was great to win. I mean, it was a close game, but to win close games is very important because, you know, every now and then again during the year you lose the close ones, and to get away like we did today was just good for the boys.
Well, good for the boys and good for Warrington, because you've got to keep this run going up to the end of the year, haven't you now?
Certainly, bar the Aussie game, which it's 6 in a row in the comp. So, you know, we're pleased that we've got a roll going, and it's the only way to keep pressure on the leading bunch, which we're in.
Do you look over your shoulder and you know that on New Year's Day will be Wigan at Central Park, and it couldn't be much bigger than that, could it?
Oh, no, certainly. That's a great game to look forward to. It's a pleasure to play Wigan at Central Park, you know, on such a big occasion. But there's a hell of a lot of games before there, you know, we've got a lot of work to do.
David, the word we got up in the commentary box when you got that penalty in front of the sticks is that you fancied them to take the shot at goal rather than run it.
Yes, earlier on, there were about a quarter of an hour, you know, to go, and I thought that was the best option. But the guy was running on with the sand, but the guy tapped it, you know, they're the players, they make the decisions a little bit quick out there. And we didn't come up with it. If we'd have come up with the 6 points there, that would have been the option, but we didn't come up with it.
But I suppose, had you got over for the try late on and you'd have kicked the goal, you'd really be kicking them now, wouldn't you?
Oh, sure I would, yeah. Then we got another opportunity of 2 points. Well, it's don't kick for goal now, son. Don't look at me. You know, so if you run it the first time, then you've got to run it the second time. Because the clock's going down. There are only 5 minutes to go. And we didn't come up with it. But a few little penalty decisions. In the second half, we got ourselves in front. There were 2 penalties that they played the ball there. The two sets of 6, they end up going in. We shot ourselves in the foot, so no complaints.
The statistics from this match, and Warrington having to work a lot harder than Featherstone in the tackling department. Scrums, 13 to Featherstone and only 5 to Warrington. Penalties 11-9 in the home side's favour. Far too many handling errors, really, and Featherstone made 15 of them. And it was Featherstone's half in each half. So Warrington maintained their 100% record here at Wilderspool, but Featherstone Rovers made them fight all the way. Just 4 points, the winning margin in the end. Everybody at Warrington, I think, has got one eye over their shoulder looking towards New Year's Day and the big challenge to come against Wigan at Central Park. Steve-O, Warrington will have to improve before they face that challenge.
They certainly will, and they can thank the lucky stars that Kelly Shelford was in top form in the second half. He created those 2 vital tries that brought them back after Featherstone had taken the lead. Featherstone a little bit unlucky in many ways. If they'd have had Mark Aston playing today, I think he would have steadied the ship down when they did take the lead, and it was just unfortunate they just lost their way. Too many errors from both sides, but I have to blame the referee. He lost control, the 10 yards was non-existent, and as far as I'm concerned, he was the main reason why this game was very scrappy indeed.
You mentioned the players missing for Featherstone. Of course, Warrington had a couple missing also, and particularly Jonathan Davis. When he comes back for the New Year's Day match against Wigan, they could look a different side.
Well, they are a better side with Jonathan Davis. They certainly missed his goal kicking today. And, of course, Alan Bateman came on late as a substitute. If Bateman and Jonathan Davis are in top form, fully fit, then I think they will give Wigan a very, very good game. But there's a lot of work to be done, and their coach, Brian Johnson, realises that too.
So that's the story from Warrington then. Warrington march on here at home. But what about the rest of the First Division? Here now, the highlights from all the other games played today. Every try scored in the Stone Spitter Championship, described for us by Graham Beecroft and Bill Arthur.
Seize the day.
Helens had their captain Shane Cooper helped off in the early minutes of this game, but it didn't seem to make any difference early on. Saints substitute Phil Vivers found this gap to put the visitors ahead with his first try of the season. Well, Andy Gregory started the game as though he was a member of John Major's cabinet, and that kamikaze pass gave Saints another try. Anthony Sullivan collected. Bobby Goulding cut in intelligently to keep both Sullivan and Prescott in play, and despite some valiant defending by Ford, Sullivan put in Steve Prescott for a try. 12-2 to St Helens. Gregory's suicide pact with his teammates almost gave St Helens another breakaway try before the little general decided to get back to basics, his pass allowing Steve Blakely to keep Salford in touch. Now, if you've got a general on the field, you need the troops to carry out his promptings, and there's nobody you want jumping out of the trenches, bayonet fixed, more than Scott Marn. An absolutely superb try by the Aussie fullback. Now watch for the alternative up and under here. Jason Critchley is up to catch the ball, under with the pass. Ford was alert enough to take it, and he found Critchley for the touchdown. St Helens simply couldn't get into the game, and when Jason Williams made a try out of seemingly nothing, you knew it was going to be Salford's day. Just Williams' second try for the Willows side. Now 4-on-1 isn't fair, is it? But former St Helens hooker Mark Lee still managed to wriggle through the bodies and touchdown here. Just to rub salt in the wound, Williams, Gregory and Eccles set up winger Phil Ford for the final try. And he knew that he'd shot down St Helens' title hopes. 5,500 spectators knew it as well.
If there is going to be a challenge to Wigan, perhaps it'll come from Leeds, who maintained their impressive run with victory over Doncaster. The Dons defended stubbornly for the first 20 until Ellery Hanley swiped the ball off Richie Ayres to score. But despite more financial problems which have cast doubts over the club's future, Doncaster showed plenty of spirit to take an 8-6 lead through Jamie Blum's opportunist try and 2 Alex Green goals. Then the Dons had Tony Miller sin-binned and Leeds took full advantage. James Lowes setting up Ellery Hanley for his second of the game. Lowes had a busy afternoon. A short ball sent Kevin Iro away. Back in field to Alan Tate, and that left acres of space for Gary Schofield. Leeds scored 3 tries while Doncaster were down to 12 men. Gary Mercer making the break, and even though the ball went to ground, Schofield took control, and it was 26-8. Leeds really were in charge. Lowes, Tate to Mercer. And a truly stylish try followed that, started by George Mann's great step and turn, which completely fooled the Doncaster defence and set Schofield away. Ellery Hanley was in support to make it a hat-trick, and now 399 career tries. He has his sights on the 400. Leeds 38-8 ahead, eased off. Jamie Blum didn't. His second try of the game, a typical storming effort. And a rare handling mistake from Leeds was punished late on by Doncaster. Vila Matautia picking up the loose ball and scoring, but Leeds notched up their 5th successive championship win at home to stay second in the table.
A win for Wigan in this game, and they'd equal the best ever start to a season. 13 games set by witness. And in truth, the result was never in doubt. Brilliant work by Paul, setting up Vaiga Tuigamala for the first try of the match. Wigan gave a superb exhibition of supporting the player with the ball, and Tuigamala and Paul helped Gary Connolly to the second Wigan try. A powerful run finishing the move. Edwards, Paul and Aitchison sounds like a firm of solicitors, but as far as Oldham were concerned, they were a little too clever with their ball handling skills. Simon Horton wandered into Wigan one day after being a good soccer player and asked if he could sample the game. Well, his inclination and Wigan's to take him on proved well-founded, and on his full league debut, a debut try, one of many for the future. 20-0 at half-time, and Wigan didn't step off the gas in the second half. Super support play again, and a fire finally setting up Gary Connolly for his second try. And who else but Sean Edwards standing by to point the way home. Well, this try had just about everything. A little bit of ballet, some wrestling, Aussie rules football and basketball all rolled into one try, with Dennis Betts the man to finish off the little montage with 4 rugby league points. Injuries meant that Wigan also played another youngster, Chris Radlinski, on the right wing, and Edwards' lovely kick was plucked out of the air by Radlinski for try number 7. Indecision in the Oldham ranks led to another Wigan try. Aitchison surging forward to give Sean Edwards the touchdown eventually, and he now needs just one more try for an amazing 1,000 points for the club. None of the 13,000 crowd, even the Oldham supporters I fancy, would moan at a penny of the admission fee today, and Henry Paul rounded off the rout, 46 points to 0, and if Wigan don't retain their championship, Steve-O will run round the town in only his boxer shorts.
Bradford bounced back from their surprising midweek hammering at Oldham to inflict similar damage on Wakefield Trinity, and it turned out to be a debut to remember for 18-year-old New Zealander Robbie Paul, as he collected a Neil Summers kick to open the scoring. Another perfectly weighted kick, this one from Dave Watson, set up a try for Paul Newlove, just beating Richard Slater to the ball. Trinity defended fiercely to keep the half-time score to 14-0, but Northern stepped up the pressure after the break, with Paul Dixon selling a hint of a dummy to open up a gap. 2 minutes later, Bradford struck again as Wakefield wilted. Paul to Roger Simpson, and on perhaps a touch forward to Paul Medley, who made it 22-0. Wakefield swapped Gary Christie for Bradford's Deo Powell and Steve McGowan in midweek, and Christie duly marked his debut for Northern with try number 5, courtesy of another Trinity error. Another well-judged kick from Derek Fox, another try for Robbie Paul, younger brother of Wigan's Henry, kicking ahead and then scrambling over for his second to round off a 34-0 victory. It may not have been billed as the thriller of the day, but that's what it turned out to be at the Don Valley Stadium, as Workington took the game to Sheffield right from the start. Vince Fawcett getting their first try after 6 minutes. A driving run from Kyle White set up Workington's second. James Pickering to Dean Marwood, who added 3 goals to make it 14-0 to Workington after 16 minutes. The Eagles got their act together long enough to score a solo try through Darryl Powell. But Workington quickly hit back through their on-loan Warrington Welshman, Roland Phillips, turning and offloading to Kevin Ellis. Workington have never won at Sheffield. They must have thought they were going to right that wrong when Phil Mackenzie exploited poor Eagles defending to add another try. It was 25-6 to Workington at half-time, but then crucially, Mark Mulligan was sin-binned and the Sheffield fight-back began. Sub Keith Senior to Linton Stott, who put the brakes on to beat the Workington cover. Then Sheffield went right up the middle, Anthony Farrell shrugging off 4 would-be tacklers. David Maiko converted to make it 16-25, and the Eagles were right back in it. They kept up the pressure, scoring their 3rd try in the space of 5 minutes, again capitalising on weak defending, with second rower Paul Carr demonstrating wingers' skills. That made it 20-25, and 10 minutes later, Sheffield, who'd been adrift and facing defeat, were in the lead as Darryl Powell burst through, lobbed a ball over the top to Bright Sodji. Maiko converted, and it was 26-25 to the Eagles. Sheffield must have thought they were home and dry when, with 8 minutes to go, John Glancy stormed through. But Workington still had a shock for them, with a try 4 minutes from time. James Pickering to Paul Burns. Scored 2 wide out for a successful conversion. Maiko's last-minute penalty goal sealed an incredible comeback by Sheffield.
Times are hard for Hull at the moment, so the last thing they would have wanted was to run into a Castleford team on top of their form. Blackmore and Kemp gave Tony Smith the first 4 of 50-plus points. Another great try by Castleford. Kemp, Nickow, Kemp again, and Graham Steadman was there to cross the whitewash for try number 2. Well, another try for Steadman now. He started the move, and then it was 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Castleford certainly looked capable of leading Wigan's chasers on today's evidence. Another superb move with Smales and Blackmore giving the other Cass Smith, Chris, the try. Hull managed just 2 tries in the game, and Mark Hewitt got the first, to suggest that there's nothing too much wrong with Hull's attacking ideas. No, it's at the other end of the field where Hull is struggling, and Russell gave Tony Kemp another touchdown for the home side. Nickow's wayward pass wasn't taken by Steadman, and Hull produced an excellent try. From one end of the field to the other, Stevens passing to Shane Endicott, but skill and determination still needed to score. Kiwi Tawara Nickow's international duty hasn't taken the edge off his game, and his pass gave Tony Smith his second try. Well, I don't know who or what that lady was referring to, but there was no doubt about Dean Sampson's credentials for this touchdown. Whoa, steady. Tony Smith, Middleton, and yes, John Ray made it 52-10 for Castleford.
Now the full list of results from the championship this weekend. Halifax 27, Widnes 10 on Friday. Warrington winning here today. Elsewhere, Bradford 34, Wakefield 0, Castleford 52, Hull 10, Leeds 38, Doncaster 18, Salford 39, St Helens 12. Sheffield 34, Workington 29, and Wigan 46, Oldham 0. So Wigan have equalled the record of consecutive wins at the start of the season. 13 out of 13 now, the same as Widnes achieved in 1981, 13 years ago. Leeds keep up the pressure, Bradford are back to winning ways, a bad defeat for St Helens at Salford, and Salford are now in the top 8. At the bottom, Hull and Workington both lost. The crucial win here was Sheffield's victory over Workington. Now to the results from the Regal Trophy. Look at those first 2 scores. Huddersfield 142, Blackpool 4. That was played yesterday. Today, Barrow 138, Nottingham 0. Batley 38, Queens 8. Bramley 40, Mysons 14. Carlisle 25, Dudley Hill 12. Highfield 12, Ovenden 6. Hulkingston Rovers 48, Kensington 8. Heathley 56, Chorley 0. Lee 18, Lee Miners 12. London 34, Hemel Hempstead 16. Rochdale 34, Woolston 10. Rydale York 26, West Hull 9. Swinton 32, Saddleworth 26. And Whitehaven 66, Thatto Heath 0. All the second division clubs then through to round 2, the draw tomorrow. What's coming up on the big league? Well, there's no big league next weekend because of the Regal Trophy. So a week on Friday, the 9th of December, hope you'll join us on Sky Sports this time for Sheffield against Castleford. Live and exclusive from Don Valley at 7. On the Sunday, Top plays second. Leeds take on Wigan at Headingley. Will be exclusive there at 7:30 on Sky Sports, plus the highlights from all the First Division games once again. Over Christmas, Boxing Day, 11 a.m. I hope you'll join us at Knowsley Road for the Saints against Wigan. We'll be live and exclusive. The match kicks off at 11:30. And looking ahead to the new year, it's Wigan against Warrington, plus again, highlights from all the First Division games played that day, live and exclusive, and we're on from 7 until 10 that night, 7 till 10 on New Year's Day. Boots and all next Friday on Sky Sports 2, and we shall be here at 6 o'clock. So join us for Boots and all, Sky Sports 2 next Friday. Note the slightly earlier time of 6 o'clock. That's it though from Wilderspool. From all of us on the Big League team, it's goodbye.
The heat is on at the Gabba as England take on Australia in the first test. See all the action live and right through the night. Coverage starts at 11:30 p.m. and continues